The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's observation on certainty reflects a psychological and societal dichotomy. Individuals with limited understanding may not grasp the breadth of their ignorance, leading to misplaced confidence, a cognitive bias known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. Conversely, those with heightened awareness of a subject's complexity often acknowledge the limitations of their knowledge, resulting in more cautious assertions. This dynamic can lead to an imbalance in public discourse, where confident, uninformed voices drown out nuanced, informed perspectives. Russell's insight warns of the dangers of unwarranted certainty. It serves as a call for humility in our convictions and an appreciation for the tentative nature of knowledge. By recognizing this, societies might better value and heed the cautious wisdom that often speaks in whispers rather than shouts. I would never die for my beliefs because I might be wrong. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's statement, "I would never die for my beliefs because I might be wrong," is a profound testament to intellectual humility. This stance acknowledges the fallibility inherent in human reasoning, suggesting that our convictions, however strongly held, are not infallible. The insight here is an advocacy for skepticism and the willingness to revise one's stance in light of new evidence or better arguments. It's a caution against the absolutism that can lead to fanaticism and conflicts, reminding us that the certainty with which a belief is held is not a reliable indicator of its truth. The lesson is a call for open-mindedness and the courage to question and adjust our beliefs. In a world often polarized by rigid ideologies, Russell's reflection champions the flexibility that is crucial for both intellectual and societal progress.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more valuable quotes from the legends.
To fear love is to fear life, and those who fear life are already 3 parts dead. Bertrand Russell. 3 passions, simple but overwhelmingly strong, have governed my life: the longing for love, the search for knowledge, and unbearable pity for the suffering of mankind. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's assertion, "To fear love is to fear life, and those who fear life are already 3 parts dead," encapsulates the idea that love is an essential component of a full and vibrant life. Fearing love, shying away from the vulnerability and risks associated with deep, emotional connections, diminishes the richness of human experience. Russell implies that love's inherent vulnerabilities are integral to the human condition. Avoiding these is akin to surrendering a large part of one's vitality and potential for happiness. His admission of being driven by the longing for love, the search for knowledge, and unbearable pity for the suffering of mankind reveals a life fueled by not just intellectual pursuits, but also profound emotional and empathetic capacities. These passions represent a balanced existence that embraces the full spectrum of human experience. The overarching insight is that a life devoid of love, curiosity, and compassion is only a shadow of what it could be. Russell's reflection encourages us to engage fully with all aspects of life, recognizing that such engagement, with its inherent risks, is the essence of truly living. A happy life must be to a great extent a quiet life, for it is only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy dare live. Bertrand Russell. Science is what you know, philosophy is what you don't know. Bertrand Russell. Most people would sooner die than think. In fact, they do so. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's reflections on life, knowledge, and thought converge on the theme of introspection and understanding. A happy life must be to a great extent a quiet life, suggests that serenity is a cradle for true joy, hinting at the value of introspection and inner peace over constant external pursuit. In today's high-stimulation world, this speaks to the importance of carving out spaces for calm, where joy isn't overshadowed by the noise of daily struggles. In distinguishing science and philosophy, science is what you know, philosophy is what you don't know. Russell points to the scope of science as the realm of established knowledge, while philosophy grapples with the yet to be understood. This demarcation underlines the necessity of embracing both the known and the unknown in our quest for wisdom. Finally, most people would sooner die than think. In fact, they do so, is a stark observation on the human condition, emphasizing the discomfort many feel with deep contemplation. It's a call to actively engage with thought to truly experience life, rather than passively accepting existence. Together, these quotes provide a blueprint for a meaningful life: seek silence for joy, embrace knowledge while pondering the unknown, and engage actively with thought. To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's statement, "To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness," highlights the paradoxical nature of desire and contentment. It suggests that the presence of unfulfilled desires can contribute to a state of happiness by maintaining a dynamic tension in life that fuels growth, gratitude, and resilience. The pursuit of goals and the experience of occasional scarcity or longing prevent complacency, fostering a deeper appreciation for what one already has and a motivation for continued effort. By recognizing the value in not having everything we want, we can find joy in the journey towards our goals and savor the achievements along the way. This perspective advocates for a balanced approach to ambition and desire, promoting a life where happiness is not predicated on complete fulfillment but on the rich tapestry of experiences that include both attainment and yearning. Religion is something left over from the infancy of our intelligence. It will fade away as we adopt reason and science as our guidelines. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's stance on religion, as encapsulated in the statement, "Religion is something left over from the infancy of our intelligence. It will fade away as we adopt reason and science as our guidelines," reflects his belief in the historical and psychological origins of religious thought as humanity's early attempt to understand and explain the world. Russell, a renowned rationalist and secular humanist, perceived the development of science and the application of reason as evolutionary steps in human intellectual progress, leading away from the metaphysical explanations offered by religion. He envisioned a future where empirical evidence and logical analysis would render religious belief systems obsolete, replaced by a worldview grounded in scientific understanding. This perspective not only underscores the tension between faith and reason, but also posits a trajectory of societal development where knowledge supplants belief. Whether this prediction will fully manifest remains a subject of debate, as religion continues to play a significant role in the lives of many, suggesting that the human affinity for faith may be more enduring and complex than Russell anticipated. Fear is the main source of superstition, and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's assertion, "Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom," speaks to the primal nature of fear as a driver of irrational beliefs and harmful behaviors. Superstitions often stem from the human tendency to find patterns or causal relationships where none exist, particularly in times of uncertainty and fear. When people are afraid, they may grasp at any belief or action that promises control or safety, however illogical it may be. Furthermore, fear can precipitate cruelty, as individuals or groups may harm others in a misguided effort to protect themselves or their interests. Fear-driven cruelty can manifest in xenophobia, oppression, and violence, as history has shown. Russell suggests that overcoming fear is fundamental to developing wisdom. Wisdom involves recognizing the limits of one's knowledge, the complexity of the world, and the humanity of others. It requires courage to face the unknown and to resist the urge to succumb to irrational, fear-based reactions. In conquering fear, individuals can approach life with a clearer, more compassionate perspective, which is the cornerstone of wise action and thought. The only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's statement, "The only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation," underscores his belief in the essential nature of collaborative effort for the survival and flourishing of humanity. He recognized that many of the challenges faced by society, such as war, poverty, and environmental degradation, are too vast for any individual or even a single nation to tackle alone. Cooperation, as Russell saw it, is not merely a moral imperative, but a practical one. It entails mutual understanding, shared goals, and collective action. This perspective resonates with the idea that the complex, interconnected problems in our globalized world require cross-cultural, interdisciplinary approaches. By pooling resources, knowledge, and skills, humanity can devise more effective solutions and create synergies that no solitary effort could achieve. Russell's emphasis on cooperation also implies a certain optimism about human nature, that despite our differences, we have the capacity to work together for the common good. His call for cooperation is as relevant today as ever, reminding us that the redemption of mankind may lie in our ability to transcend individual interests in favor of a united pursuit of a better world for all. The fact that an opinion has been widely held is no evidence that it is not utterly absurd. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's statement, "The fact that an opinion has been widely held is no evidence whatever that it is not utterly absurd," highlights the fallacy of argumentum ad populum, where the popularity of a belief is mistakenly taken as proof of its validity. Russell points out that truth is not determined by the number of people who accept an opinion, rather, it is determined by rigorous analysis and empirical evidence. This perspective encourages critical thinking and skepticism, especially towards widely accepted notions that may have been adopted without sufficient scrutiny. It's a reminder of the historical prevalence of beliefs that, despite their popularity, have been proven false or misguided. For instance, many once commonplace views on race, gender, and science have been overturned as understanding and morality have evolved. Russell's caution against equating consensus with correctness serves as a call to examine our convictions, however popular, with intellectual honesty and a willingness to change them in light of new information. This principle is foundational for scientific progress and a rational approach to public discourse. I believe in using words, not fists. I believe in my outrage knowing people are living in boxes on the street. I believe in honesty. I believe in a good time. I believe in good food. I believe in sex. Bertrand Russell. This quote, often attributed to Bertrand Russell, encapsulates his humanist philosophy that emphasizes rationality, compassion, and the pursuit of a fulfilling life. "I believe in using words, not fists," underscores his commitment to dialogue and reason over violence. When he speaks of outrage at the sight of homelessness, it reflects his deep concern for social justice and the well-being of all individuals. Russell's belief in honesty points towards the value he places on truth and integrity, both in personal conduct and intellectual endeavor. "I believe in a good time," and his endorsement of good food and sex highlight his view that the enjoyment of life's pleasures is a fundamental component of a well-lived life. Despite his reputation as a rigorous philosopher and logician, these statements reveal Russell as a proponent of a balanced life that embraces both the life of the mind and the senses. Through this quote, Russell champions a life that harmoniously blends the ethical, the rational, and the pleasurable, advocating for a holistic approach to living that doesn't shy away from the realities of human need, the value of pleasure, and the power of words to effect change. It has been said that man is a rational animal. All my life I have been searching for evidence which could support this. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's quip, "It has been said that man is a rational animal. All my life I have been searching for evidence which could support this," reflects his wry skepticism about human rationality. Russell, a philosopher known for his work in logic and analytical philosophy, was well aware of the capacity for human reason. However, he was equally cognizant of the numerous instances throughout history where humans have acted irrationally. His remark is a tongue-in-cheek observation that, despite the potential for rational thought, humans often make decisions based on prejudice, emotion, or faulty reasoning. Russell's extensive work in philosophy often grappled with these contradictions, exploring the tension between the ideal of pure rationality and the reality of human behavior. This quote underscores the idea that while humans have the unique ability to reason, our actions are frequently not guided by this ability alone. It is a reminder of the importance of striving for rationality, not only in philosophical inquiry but in everyday life, while acknowledging the complex nature of human psychology and the various factors that influence decision-making. To teach how to live without certainty and yet without being paralyzed by hesitation is perhaps the chief thing that philosophy, in our age, can do for those who study it. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell's statement, "To teach how to live without certainty and yet without being paralyzed by hesitation is perhaps the chief thing that philosophy, in our age, can do for those who study it," speaks to the role of philosophy in cultivating a mindset that can navigate the uncertainties of life. The quote acknowledges the human desire for certainty and the discomfort that comes with its absence, while also recognizing the danger of being unable to make decisions due to indecision or doubt. In this view, philosophy is not just an academic pursuit but a practical tool for developing the ability to make reasoned choices in the face of the unknown. It encourages critical thinking, open-mindedness, and the acceptance of ambiguity, while also inspiring the courage to act despite incomplete knowledge. Russell's philosophy suggests that the quest for absolute certainty is futile and that wisdom lies in understanding the provisional nature of knowledge and the need to sometimes take leaps of faith based on the best available evidence and reasoning. This approach to philosophy as a guide for living is particularly resonant in an age characterized by rapid change, complex social challenges, and often overwhelming choices. It underscores the importance of philosophy in helping individuals cultivate the intellectual and emotional resilience to live thoughtfully and confidently in a world that offers no guarantees.